So welcome to another day in the shop. My channel is all about DIY and teaching people how to do things on a budget, or to do things that you would otherwise have to pay someone a lot of money to do. So a lot of people really like butcher block countertops or hardwood countertops, and they are very expensive. And if you get it quoted out by a company, you're probably going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for your countertops. I'm essentially going to be building a countertop for a pub build, but this could be done in a kitchen, an island, anywhere. I'm going to be using OSB board, which is behind me somewhere, and then hardwood plywood as the top layer. Then I'm going to cap that with actual maple, and then I'm going to use oak dowels to put it all together. I'm not using any fancy tools that you can't pick up at a garage sale for a couple bucks. I think the fanciest tool I'll use is a router, which you don't even have to use or do. So stick around, let me know what you think. So here's the space that we're talking about. There's a bar that was already built. We have bought some cabinets off of Facebook Marketplace. We're going to put a fridge there. Eventually, this will all be a full pub build. But right now, I'm just going to build the countertops.
So in order to make this project really cheap, I'm going to use OSB as the base of the cabinet, and then this nicer maple hardwood plywood for the tops. So visually, it'll just look like hard maple. Vacuuming up all of my stuff, trying to keep the shop tidy while I work on this. Anyways, since the countertops are about 10 foot wide, I'm going to have a seam because these plywood's only 8 foot, which I don't really mind. So I'm just laying down the plywood here to make sure that it fits. And if it does fit, I'm going to proceed to then glue it down and then take screws and screw from the OSB to the plywood. Now remember, this is upside down right now, so make sure you use screws that are not going to poke through the plywood. You could clamp this as well, but I'm trying to be quick. And here I am just screwing the screws. They're about 1 inch, and you know, the whole countertop's about 1.5 inches. So it's pretty safe to do this unless you really drive it home. So the top of the countertop is looking pretty nice, but I'm gonna wanna use a solid maple edge so it looks like it's solid wood. I just used a screwdriver to do some guides for my drill bit so it wouldn't slip. And then I just dug down with the drill about 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch, just enough to hide the screw head. And then I just clamped that piece of maple to the existing countertop. And I just used my impact to drive a screw to hold it together while the glue dries. You could clamp it. Again, I'm just trying to work quickly here. I am clamping it just to give me just to line it up really. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just put more screws in it. And if there's glue, poking out through the seams, then you've got enough. And then I just took some oak dowels, and these aren't structural. They're not gonna hold that maple edge to the rest of the bar top, but at least it'll give it the appearance that it is, and it'll hide the screw holes nicely. So I just dabbed some Tight Bond on it, and I placed those into the existing holes, just tapped it in with a hammer, and after it was tapped in here, I just used a Japanese saw. You can use any saw, but a Japanese saw. They're just really easy. Doesn't look pretty. I almost screwed it up, but hey, it worked. After that, I just took my sander. I took my router and gave it a nice 1/2 inch round on just the top. The bottom I kept flat, and gave it a final finish with the sander, and then I placed it to see if it would fit.
Now, I'm just test fitting it, and looks pretty good. So obviously it's unfinished, and I'm gonna fill some of these gaps. It has a seam, but I really don't mind. But I kind of like the way this maple cap looks. I like the way that the dowels look. Yeah, now we just have to stain it and figure out the rest of the bar build. This is all gonna be built out. So thanks for watching. Watch part 2 as I continue to work on the never-ending project that is the pub behind me.